I went to a Roman Catholic school as a kid from a little tacker from about here up. When I ended up leaving school, I had a concept of God. I knew God existed, but that was about it. And so for me, I left school really not God aware at all, really, but was in my last year of school, I started to smoke drugs. We started to get drugs, and that was the end of the hippie era. And of course, we all wanted to be long-haired hippies, and so we all just, as mates, got in and we smoked and dope, you know. And that was at the start of the end of school. I started smoking my drugs there, and it progressed there to a lot of other things, pills and speed and everything you can name, really, and acid. I used to have the old microdots, acid trips. Yeah, they were pretty strong in them days. And I probably had about 100 of them, and I'm amazed that I got out as sane as I did. Well, some people probably can debate that. But it was quite an experience going through all that. And as I progressed with my life, I tried a few jobs here and there, nothing that really satisfied me because my head was in a really bad situation. I was just taking drugs, and it was just party, and no real thought for tomorrow. Bulletproof, and she'll be right. Sort it out next week. So it was just like that, and then we just progressed, me and some friends, till we got to a point where we started injecting heroin, speed, coke, other things as well. So we got pretty bad, and so I was in the drug world, which also involved crime, like a lot of petty crime. We needed to steal for our drug money, so we'd break into houses and sell stuff from the pubs and buy and sell, and anything we could get our hands on, anything we could get $1 off, we would do our best there to make money for our drugs. And not only that, then we turned to selling and dealing, and I ended up in King's Cross, selling drugs up there. But the life of the drugs is no life at all, really. And so all of these things come with that sort of addictions, which they bring everything that you don't want. But of course, when you start out, it's just all fun. But then before you know it, your life is a nightmare, and there's just hard to describe, really, but it's not nice, it's not pretty, and it's a life that I wouldn't recommend to my worst enemy. You meet all the worst people in society, and you mix with all the worst people in society, and you become one of the worst people in society. And after a while, you don't know how to change, you don't know how to get out of that, and you just simply don't know how to improve your life. So you go from, I went from day to day, week to week, year to year, like that, and in and out of jobs. So it wasn't very, very good. But I needed and I wanted a better life, and I wanted to get back to the start. This was probably 25 years of this lifestyle and drug use, which brought me into police lockups all over the country, a prison farm for a while, low security, but it was not nice, and I didn't want to be there, and it was an experience I didn't want to have to go through ever again. And after 25 years, I thought to myself, well, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. It got so bad. In this lifestyle, I had 2 daughters to a lady who was pretty much just of a mess, the same as I was mentally. And she was on the drugs as well, and smoking and popping pills and whatever. And we had 2 daughters, and we were together for a couple of years, and we split up, totally dysfunctional, and she ended up taking the girls, my 2 little girls, who I love dearly and still do, but she took the girls and disappeared, and I wanted to try and get my daughters back, try and build a relationship with my girls that I had in the beginning. I had a great relationship with the girls, and I wanted to get that back, but I didn't know how. And through a number of people, I got involved with some people somehow that were evangelical, and this fellow befriended me, and he started to talk to me about this God. Well, I just thought, well, yeah, it's okay, that's great, you know, but you know, that's all good and proper, for not for me. I just don't get it. There I was waiting for some hooch to turn up, and I hadn't smoked any hooch for a while, and I was been straight for a few days, 4 days I think, and I was just lying there on my back on a bed in this little room, and just looking at this white wall in front of me, and just sort of wait for these guys to turn up, and they were a couple of days late. But anyway, there I was. I found myself lying there, and then all of a sudden, while I laid there on my own in a sort of room, a picture appeared to me in front of me, and it was a bit blurred at first, and it went away, and then a few seconds later it came back right in front of me, and it was a picture of Jesus Christ. Now, the Jesus Christ I know was in Catholicism, and he had the long hair and the beard. Now here this fellow is, this Jesus Christ, he's there right in front of me, and it was like a picture from just below his, top of his chest to the top of his head, and just that of him. And I was this jumped out of the wall, this picture right in front of me. Now, I wasn't in the DTs, I wasn't in anything, I was quite okay. And then I'm just transfixed looking at this picture of Jesus, but it wasn't a picture, it was alive. Christ was alive, and he was there staring at me with his eyes, and I'm just looking into his eyes, and then he gave me this big smile, this big, warm, beautiful smile. And as soon as he did that, this black grey shadow came out of my left thigh, and I watched this thing go out the corner of my eye, and it went up through the ceiling. And then I looked back, and Christ was still smiling at me. And then I went into and then he poured his love out, which to me, what happened was that his love cannot be expressed. It's hard to get words. There's no words. It is so good. It is unbelievable. It was like I try to explain it, but it's very difficult. It's like peace and joy and happiness and contentment and comfort and everything that you could ever possibly imagine would be good was his love. And it was like it was a force. It wasn't a feeling, it was a force that came from him. It was like I could see it. It was physical. It was like there's like this mist, sort of a mist, something. I can't even describe that. And it even seemed to be around the bed where I was. And I just lifted up with this love. It just hit me. And I felt I lifted off the bed. And I said that to people. I felt I've lifted off the bed, like I levitated. But I felt so into God's love. It's just unbelievable. It just lifted me. Anything that could have happened in this world at that moment there could have been, I was in another world. It's like another world. It's another world. Everything from this world disappears. It becomes irrelevant. It's like shut the door on this world, and there you are in God's love. And better than any drug I'd ever had. And so this went on for I don't know how long, not a great amount of time. Probably it could have been 10, could have been 15 seconds. But then he just disappeared and went away. And I felt a bump, like I hit the bed. But then I looking around and I'm going, wow. I couldn't believe what just happened. And I hadn't been praying, I hadn't been searching as such. He just came. And I'm sure that someone was praying somewhere. But there he was, that experience, that my first experience of Christ. And I tell you, when he left and when I came down a bit, I realised straight away that my addictions were gone. And I was able to figure that these demons, literally demons of drugs and addictions and alcohol and everything else, they left. And there I was, all my cravings were gone. And these things I'd been living with for 25 years or something like that, could be a bit longer. But when you're living with them day in, day out, night in, night out, then all of a sudden they're gone. That's freedom. That's the freedom that I had been searching for 25 years.